Alright, still got a little work to do here, but getting close. This is my wife's tank. She's actually more into fish than I am, probably. Of course, I do all the work. Too much information? Yes, you can actually see Maxine opening the door behind me in the reflection. Almost done updating the Prisoning script. Do. Murky. It's a bit of a dark water tank. Alright, I think I'm ready here. Alright. Good morning, Alphane. I have a thing to send you. I still need to get some addresses from some other people, but Star tried to send you a thing and said, "What country is that?" And then is sending me the medal instead, so I can send it to you since I know how to deal with that type stuff. Staff of Snugs. Not so sure about that. How about a twig? All right. Your country isn't unrecognizable. He just doesn't know how. I don't think he's ever sent anything outside the U.S. And I've got like stamps.com that I use for everything, and it's pretty good about figuring it out. Alright, hold on, I'm updating the prizes. I can read these off to you guys. The prizes for today, as I update them in our prize script, are, you ready? Ornate bagpipes, brown plague doctor mask, gothic large candelabra 3-pack, ornate moon dial, green marble koi pond dungeon room. We could just call that GMRKPDR. That's not even cool. But anyways, it's really long. Do, 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 do. Ooh, I see some questions coming up there. Yeah, get your questions in now. I've got some updates for you guys, and then I'm going to jump into questions. Probably fill you in on a few things. I'm hoping this is going to be a great release in terms of some important bug fixes. And just lots of cool stuff. Do. And the fish there. Can anybody name all the fish? I am experiencing some lag issues. Are we having new server? We are not. I've been watching the server. We've got a number of like little metrics that go on the server. And there's never just one thing you can look at. But it does... Yeah, it doesn't look like we're having more disconnects. We're actually having fewer disconnects on the new one. I'm not seeing any longer times to feed back. The only thing that would cause that other than that would be like just lag time, and it's on the same in the same cluster. Oh, there's a hype train going on. A little bit early there. That's perfect. Angelfish, that's all we got so far? Come on. Look, there's 2 different types of rainbow, 3 different types of rainbows. That's a rainbow fish. The one that's... That guy in front of the screen right now is a rainbow fish. That's a Iranian red... Oh, that was a Bosemani rainbow fish that went in front of the screen. There's a little ram down there. Some red-eyed tetras. Some angels. There's a 2 double red apistos. Lots of stuff in there. All right, well, it's about time I stop torturing you by making you watch my fish. Get on to more important things like torturing you by singing. Okay, that's not happening yet. I'll go ahead and stop this, though. Let's see. Hold on, I gotta get the client up, and then I'm ready. Okay. Now I'm about ready. Spring has sprung, correct? See that people spamming that madly. Let's see. All right, say bye-bye to the fish. Oh, there's a super annoying killifish, that red, yellow front, red back killifish. Super annoying. It tries to mate with everything. Like everything, any species. Tetra doesn't care, ram doesn't care. Whatever it is, it tries to mate with it. It's crazy. Okay, enough of the fish. And you guys are on the level 2 hype train. If you finish level 2, then I'll do 4 rounds of prizes. If not, I'll just do 3 rounds of prizes. So you can help out your friends, be everybody's hero by giving some bits. I think we are just about ready to begin. We're like a minute early. I think it's just going to be me. We've got tons of people on the team who were tired from a long week of work. Do not blame them. I actually kind of took a bit of a week off just because I was falling behind on a bunch of real life stuff. Piling up from some of it from the storm and some of it just from ongoing craziness. But I got some of it done. I had my epic string of disappointments. I haven't driven my car in 8 months. So it was about 8 months past inspection. I mentioned that, and I think Ravlox pointed out that if I go 9 months, then I have to go in person to register. And I was like, holy crap, I better get it inspected and registered. It's one that the tree fell onto, by the way. And it does have damage from that I need to get inspected. So I went in to try to get it inspected. Battery was completely dead. Charged it overnight. Next morning, battery was completely dead. So battery just absolute toast. Which it's 4 years old battery. It's fine. Replaced. Had to go down to replace that. Managed to replace that in the parking lot. AutoZone, next place I was getting it inspected. Took it over to get it inspected. It failed because if you change the battery on a car, I think I vaguely remember this, but if you change the battery on a car, you have to drive it for like 100 to 200 miles after you change the battery for the inspection to pass because the computer gets reset or something. It's really annoying, so that was my morning. Instead of doing fun stuff on Shroud, I was doing that type of fun stuff. All right, 50% through with 2 minutes to go. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to have any sidekicks at all today. I've been having a lot of sidekicks here lately. Not sidekicks. That implies that they're less than me. Equal teammates. But people helping out on the stream, so. But I think today I am flying solo. Let's see. And I think we are officially ready to begin here. So greetings, Avatar, and welcome to the Friday Shroud of the Avatar stream, where I talk about dev stuff, update you on things going on, do a lot of Q&As, give out some prizes, and give you things to look forward to. And also I pick your brains, because I think as many longtime people know, a lot of the good ideas that are on Shroud come from you guys, and we're just the guys that listen and think about how to make it happen, and then try to get it in game for you. Did something big happen over here? Oh, made it to level 3. Woohoo! 4 minutes. If you get level 3 completed, then you get, I do a 5th round of prizing. But let's see. It's been a weird couple of weeks here with our crazy weather storm, and then follow up from that. For me, I think people knew. Oh, that's something I should probably start off by talking about. Update on server stuff. So there's kind of a running joke on the team that if I have a drink, the server will crash. So I had not for a while, anytime I was going to have a drink, I would try to make sure someone else is lined up to cover it. Like just in the evening, have a glass of wine or whatever. So I would always tell people on our team chat, when I was going to have a drink. And tell them, I'm going to make the server crash, I'm going to have a glass of wine tonight. Because right now Ravalox is probably the best other person. Undone can do it sometimes if I can catch him, but there's not that many people for backup that are as convenient as me to get to the server stuff. So was it Monday night? I think it was Monday night. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. Did not have a drink, so we've now broken that connection. It's not caused by me having a glass of wine or whiskey or something. But and then I got a call at 10:30, waking me up from absolute dead sleep, saying the server's down. We knew what this was, and it's something we've been watching and preparing for and trying to be ready for as much as we could, which is the backplane on the set of boxes, the 4-node server that we use to run the live server had been dropping power. We didn't know what it was. I had 2 things prepped for it. One, having a second box backup ready. And then second, I was going to try a quick fix on it, which I was suspicious of the power supplies on the Super Micro box. So I started off by trying to switch the Super Micros. I got up there, I forget what time, 11 o'clock at night or whatever. Switched the power supplies. Turns out that was not it. With much fighting and shaking and teeth grinding up there, I could not get things to work on that box. So we've lost another 4-node box. The whole cluster is out. I verified that the other backplane power has been disconnected on the other 3 boxes that are in there. So we lost that 4-node cluster. I've got a couple more of them. I'm going to have to swap them up there, though. But as always, I have multiple backups ready to go. That one I was really hoping it would fail, just so we could get it out of the way and I could start sleeping again and not have to worry every night. So that finally did happen. As I think as some people saw, some people did not see. But the game was down from 10:30-ish, 10 o'clock-ish, I think 10:30-ish on Monday night to around 5 a.m. on Tuesday. But I did manage to completely rebuild the server. So lots of good and bad stuff in there. Well, bad, obviously, that I didn't get any sleep for a couple days. And adding to my stress level. But the good news is... Oh, and bad also, the server went down. But the good news is it proved that I could rebuild the server. I had all the steps down. And if needed, worst case emergency, even like our data center burns to the ground or something, that we've got pretty much what we need to do to rebuild things. So yay for preparing and being ready for stuff. So the bad news is the box it's on is I think it's a hex core versus the old one was a dual hex core. So it's a slower box, but the machine never really runs at any significant load except during some high login times. It's really kind of the server where you come in through and it hands out stuff and talks to other stuff, but it doesn't do a ton of CPU work itself. But it is in the entire system, it's the only box that is the single point of failure. For database and stuff, other things, we have multiple points of failure and multiple machines ready to go as failover backups. This is really the only single point of failure, which of course means it's going to fail. Which it did, but again, we got it back up, or I got it back up and was able to rebuild things. I think a lot of people didn't even know it went down, so. Oh, it looks like the hype stream is over at 2. I will be thanking people here in just a few minutes. Thank you guys to everyone who contributed, and I will get out 4 rounds of prizes. But anyways, the server's been rebuilt. It's on a new box. It's a little bit weaker. I think it's 32 gigs hex core versus 48 gig 12 core. Dodeca, that's 20. I forget what hex is, or 12 is. But anyways, no problems. I am getting 4 more machines ready to move up into the data center, so we continue to have 4 backups at all times in case anything crazy happens. So that's just about ready to go, and I just got to find a time when I can meet somebody up there. Those machines are crazy heavy, and we're at the point in the rack where it's up higher. I can't do it. I can lift it up there, but you have to like carefully get it onto rails. I'm sure there's some IT guys out there who know what I'm talking about. It's very precarious and getting it onto rails. And yeah, I can get out the lift or whatever, get up there. But anyways, that was my fun start to my week, and took a little time off after that just because it was left me pretty toasty. But let's see. So I think some other good news, now that we're probably getting up to a fair number of people in here, is we've been looking at what, speaking of critical paths and bottlenecks, probably the biggest bottleneck on the project is right here on the video screen right now. This guy, which is in terms of just too many things to do and too much programming to do. I think people also know that sadly, and just through horrible luck, we've had some really tragic stuff happen to several of the other programmers on the team, from losing spouses. Actually, 3 different people on the team have lost a spouse. 2 passed away. But in a short amount of time, which is crazy. But it's left the programming side of things really, really strained as people try to reorganize their lives and figure some things out. So we needed programmers. So guess what? Today I was in the process of spending a good chunk of the day onboarding a new programmer on the project. He did not want to go by a name yet. He said to go by David. I told him that was the most boring thing ever, but that's fine. But he wants to keep his identity secret as long as he can. Totally get it. But anyways, he has joined the project. He's getting things set up, but he should start working, I think, full-time next week. I did not even ask him if he wanted to be on here yet. I don't want to stress him out with that type of stuff. Maybe someday he'll be on here. That'll kind of ruin his secret identity, I think, though. Yes, my middle name is David, too. So, yes, that's the nice thing about David, is it's completely stealth. Half the people in the world are named David. Well, in America. Let's see. Hey, thank you very much, Catherine Rose, and nice to see your name back in here. Which reminds me, I'm sure I have a long list of things I'm supposed to do, but you guys know I'm horrible at it. But the fundraiser, the Lord of the Isle thing is still going on. I forget what the last number it was, but it's getting up there, which is awesome. Also a plug for the Airy Fund. Those guys are going to match dollar for dollar up to $5,000, I think. But anyways, get over there and check it out. See if you can help them out a little bit. I was kind of curious if a bunch of people would get together and pull funds to buy it for like their town or something like that. So maybe that'll still happen. Oh, I'm being told that my warm-up text is still on the screen. Oh, yes, I also need to do something here. Hold on. I had it suggested that I head over here to someone's pot. I'll go over there and stand in their pot instead of standing in the boring dev room. Oh, and I can probably take that fishy video thing down now, huh? Let's see. Thank you again. Thank you, Catherine Rose. And I will get to thanking people here in just a bit. Why is that specials? Hold on. I'm trying to get this specials text off. There we go. Okay, now it's off the screen. All right, now I can go over here. Let me check out this town. Set game time 10. View it in the morning sun as it should be viewed. Nice, not too cluttered. I'm liking that. There's like so many things. For those who haven't been a governor before, it's a lot of work, but I mean, again, it's kind of, you get to build your own little town, and it's a lot of fun. But it can be a lot of work here. But there's a lot of different ways to design things and ways to put together. You get a lot of pieces that you can just use off the bat, and I'm sure we're moving more and more just normal decos to be usable as town decos. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. I think this one's actually pretty good. If you see when I load it in, a lot of times you have a lot of stuff, like you load in right at the docks, and you guys know how the loading works in the town stuff. It loads in the background, but it'll still slow down things while it loads up. You know, it's loading things up as it goes through. So this one's actually pretty good in that I start off and I'm not immediately hit with, you know, a big crunchy load time. Not too cluttered. I like it. Nice form. Let's see. I wonder if he has any, how much room he has left. Oh, this is nice. This feels like a little town. You got nice pathways down here. Little shady shop street here. I think he's got some stuff here. So we'll call this the advertising stream here for Iron Hall. I'm not sure where Iron Hall is, but you guys can probably find it pretty quick. He's got some room in there and a great layout start here. Very cool. We got some people in here, so you got enough guys going on, but there's still plenty of room in there. Like the shop people, and something up on the hill over there. I'm gonna guess this is Iron Hall. There's some more stuff over here too. It looks like some people have scattered. That's actually good for in terms of performance. I know some people want everything like crammed right together, but in terms of performance for town, you'll get better performance spreading stuff out like that. But yeah, I like that how he's got the little cluster of the little city-state type thing here, and then he's got the other people scattered around. Very cool, and I saw some, at least some row lots in there. You'll have to come over here and check it out and talk to the Iron Hall guys to find out. Let's see. Oh, there's some people there, and it is... Oh, right here's the governor riding a reindeer. So that's the guy you want to talk to. Theork Umara. But anyways, let me get back to the stream. I just want to get a better backdrop than some of the stuff I've been using before. Oh, I like that, the little catapult thing up there. But anyway, so server stuff, we did have that small downtime. I forget what our downtime percentage is. Ravlox did the math, but it's still like 99.9 something percent. And it's, again, it should be a one-time thing. That was a box. We had 3 previous outages that were all an hour-ish over the last 4 months, and they were all the exact same box, the exact same problem. So sorry that took a little time to deal with, but now taken care of. Hopefully we won't see it again until something like that comes up in another year or two for some box failing. But and I am getting set back up with some more emergency boxes in case that type of thing happens again. But we are ready to get going here. I've got, if you guys want to do the question stuff, I'm going to answer some questions. This next release, for those who don't know, we're kind of trying to do, we have been trying to do this for a while, but we just haven't been organized enough, as in planning ahead and knowing what was going to happen. But we're trying to do the whole tick-tock thing that we talked about, where this would be a tick release and next release would be a talk release. So probably this release, there'll be some you can expect at least one level revamp. I know there's going to be at least one because I'm working on it. And I will get to thanking people here in just a few minutes. And... Oh, hold on. I think I missed... Oh. Yeah, so there'll probably be at least one level rework. Cleaning up and taking an old level that's very popular, a top 5 level, and redoing it. Right now, my eye is actually just from talking to some people at a guild meeting. That I did this last Sunday. I came to somebody's guild meeting and was did Q&A for an hour. But talking to them, it sounded like they were all in favor of an update to the Rise. So I will be making an update to it. I'm going to try to not change too much of the existing stuff, but we'll see how that goes. I'll probably update some creatures, update some loot, try to get some unique loot in there. In places where I do put unique loot, I'll probably be updating the creature stats to be something more relevant. Not trying to make everything impossibly hard, but I will be trying to clean up some of that stuff, because things in there's a wide range of difficulty differences and things. And I'm also going to be trying to update, probably add a new little section, a new wing onto it, with at least a couple of camps to it. So, but that is the tick. When we say TikTok, the tick usually being the bug fixing, the minor release followed by the major release. Travis is working on his level. We will see if it makes the talk. I believe it will make the talk. Putting pressure on him if he's watching the stream. I don't think he's actually said one way or the other for sure, but that was the discussion we've had at least once. Oh, sorry, distracted by team chat. That his level he's working on, he's actually working on a level that is in the neighborhood of the size or a little bit larger than Blood Bay for those who've been there. So actually one of the new epic sized maps, which I think is awesome. There's going to be an entirely new creature type in there, lots of new stuff. We all know Sanyu is going to be packing it full of quest and story and conversations and other stuff. But very excited about that, but that will not be on this. This will be a tick coming up at the end of this month. Of course, next month is exciting because that is April. And we've had a lot of good ideas thrown our way for April Fools this year. For those who haven't been with us in past April Fools, we've generally done a good job. I think we kind of dropped the ball last year on our April Fools. Honestly, I'm trying to remember what it was last year, but in past years, we've done really well. I think this year is going to be possibly our best April Fools year ever. Can't go into it. But anyways, it should be good. I'm excited about it. I don't think I've leaked it to anyone who would leak it either, so that makes it even more exciting that you guys get surprised. Let's see. All right. It's been a long week for me too, even though I took a little bit of time off here. Trying to ramp people up. I hadn't even realized it, but when we got ready to bring on David, I started thinking, when we've had a few people come on before, it's been pretty clear on what I need to ramp them up on. We kind of had some ideas, it was something we'd done. The last time I added a person who was purely just a programmer, and that's what they were being brought on to do, was... I'm pretty sure it was Undone. I'm racking my brain thinking, but I'm pretty sure it was Undone. For those who don't know, Undone is a dev that I think that was 5 years ago. He's still with us and helps out. He's also one of my backup server guys. He saved us a few times here recently when the server went down, because he actually lives next to the data center. But anyways, so there's been a lot of racking my brain for what I need to be telling a programmer, getting them set up on, getting them going on everything. So, but I personally am very, very, very excited about having a new programmer on the project that we can throw things at, as the traditional wax on, wax off type thing to do the whole Mr. Miyagi thing. We usually don't start people working, and again, it's been a while since we had a new programmer, but just on any project, especially a big project like this that's existing and in support, we need to not break things. We're live. But he is going to work on bugs to start off so we can start learning some of the code systems. So you can feel sorry for him. The next thing he probably is going to take on is start being a full-time programmer on GUI stuff. So he's got some experience. We're going to talk over some ideas, but that may be, we'll see what we end up thinking is the best idea and trying to lay down some time frames for things. But he's also a fan of Lua, and there's even been the talk of writing a full UI Lua hook and then writing the UI in Lua. But we'll see where we end up. We got to get some performance stuff improved, but redoing the UI in Lua would actually use the newest Unity system for the UI and would actually be pretty performant. But anyways, very excited to get some more bugs fixed, not be totally swamped, feeling like I have to be the guy to fix things when they come up, and having another person I can throw things off to full-time again. But let's see. Let me jump into some questions. Actually, let me thank some people here before I get too far into it. Too much further. Let's see. I owe a lot of people some thanks here. Let's see. Gravity42. Thank you, buddy, for long time support, and hope you've recovered from the storm. I know you're another Texas guy. Puddlefoot21. Thank you. Catherine Rose, as always, love seeing your name up here. And crossing my fingers things go well with the auction stuff. Stymie LLTS. Oh, hey. Not biased, but let me see if I can get my shirt on camera. Oh, is that? I don't know if you guys can see it. But anyways, I'm wearing a Syndicon t-shirt. I went to the Syndicon in Vegas last year. I guess that was year before last, since 2020 was pretty much the lost year for everybody. But 2019, I went to the Syndicon and wearing my Syndicate t-shirt for you. Let's see. Thori Kamara, thank you for the bits. I love seeing new names out there. Treasure Pile, Eileen Dragon, who I'm sure is going to be doing some dance thing. We'll probably be advertising it in the chat, and we'll probably try to get me to advertise it in the chat. I think they've got a sexy new house to show stuff off in, or a sexy new dance hall. Save the Grill, thank you for the follow and also the interesting name. Blaze Garcink, thank you ×5. Sewer Suzer, Generful, Dr. Hernbrand, Waldo Ptolemy, for being so generous to others. Irish Eyes, thank you. And another Long Live the Syndicate, thank you very much. And Blaze Garcink, Gunnerful, another Brill, Long Live Syndicate, and I'm almost done here. Radicus 2K, Vulcan Jedi, Skeggy Media, Spellfire. Ooh, I like that. Spellfire with a 5 in front of it. That's another new name. I love that. Wooftum, we still need to talk, buddy. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I gotta pick out some times here coming up. Sewer Suzer again. Waldo, Sean Paxlair, Mad Chef of Xenos, who I'm sure is enjoying the food changes. Z, thank you, Z. Kitsarian, Zythar, and Coswald Dirthmile, or Mr. Vileness Victor. Man, we've got a lot of generous people here. But anyways, guys, thank you for all the support for that stuff. We will be doing 2 extra rounds of prizes today. And I think I'm getting close to about ready for chat stuff. I'm trying to think some stuff that went on. I don't think we have, before it comes up, it's something we were just talking about. I don't think we have an official policy for setting specific screens. And hiya, Paul Serdal. But that's for the loading screen stuff. I don't think we have a specific way to do that yet, but I know 2K by 1K images is what you want. And we'll figure that out very soon. Probably if you talk to Laney or somebody else, we can probably come up with something if you want to have. So if you're really anxious, get one in there. We can just do like a service ticket and get it in there for you. But let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other big news. I know there's a couple people on my chat in here. We were just talking about some stuff. Let's see. Warm-up text. I'll read the... Oh, hold on. Sorry. I know, pro stream, right? That's why we usually have 2 people on here, so I can throw it to somebody else for a minute. And no, I think that's good. I have to say it is also fun getting a new person on the team. Again, it's something we don't do very often because we want to make sure it's someone we completely trust, we know really well, either in real life or some history in either the games industry that we're well aware of, or in Shroud. So I will not say more about this person because I don't want to give away too much stuff in case we're trying to keep things secret. But they do fit into one of those categories. It's someone that we have a long history with and have great confidence in. So it's exciting seeing them on there. Also exciting to see people who know who Star and Richard are, to have them on chat, and then Star pops into chat and says hi to them. So I'm ready to do some questions. Also, since I mentioned it, I'm not able to keep up with chat and also make eye contact with the camera. Very important. I will mention I did a guild stream last week, or guild interview last week. And that's the type of stuff that I'm open to doing. I'll probably only do one a weekend, and I'm already booked for this next weekend. I think the BMC has me talking to him next weekend, or this Sunday coming up, 2 days from now. But that's the type of stuff. If you want to have me on and you are the type of person, you run a guild or a town. I know there's the two things kind of run in parallel, that some people organize by town and some by guild. But if you want to have me to a town or guild event, just reach out to me. I'm usually pretty good about doing it. And I will gladly show up and take Q&A. If you want to, the last couple I think did Discord. But I'm happy to do Discord. I'm also happy, if you want me to, I will gladly stream the event. If you guys want to, you can stream the event, but I'm glad to get on, do the same style Q&A stuff. Again, I try to limit it to one a week, and I got to have some time away. But happy to be there. This weekend, I'm already talking to BMC guys. So if you were thinking about joining the BMC, maybe that's another incentive to do that. So, or at least talk to them about joining in on that. They're probably going to hate me because they probably have some really specific membership thing that you have to be, in game for a certain amount of time or follow some rules. But anyways, lots of BMC people out there. Feel free to talk to them. Let's see. And again, I see somebody shooting rainbows at me here. Trying to think what exciting stuff. I have not fully decided what the exciting stuff coming up is for this release that I'm going to be adding. I'm really doing a lot of balance stuff. I know some of that balance stuff is really infuriating to a few people. I'm not, again, I think the belief is I'm picking on archers. I'm really not doing anything to pick on archers. One of the things that I've done that I know has upset some archers is changing the shield of air. There's just been some changes that's one of those things. I really hate the absolute math, and it's one of those things I probably should have changed it long ago. And by absolute math, I mean things where we have like 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, and if you max it out, then something breaks math-wise. Shield of Air is one of those things that basically breaks math-wise. And a few things change that allow people to get higher than expected values, or actually lower than expected. So they're getting down to the point where they basically take no damage in combat. Doesn't matter what's hitting them. Biggest troll in the game, or extreme mode episode 2 Spindle Skog or whatever, they take almost no damage. So that's something that really it was not intended, and it was some changes that were made by multiple different hands, not just mine. But it's something that really, that's not the problem. The real problem is the math for it was always bad. Having something that goes from a 1 to a 0, and if it gets to 0 it breaks, then that is something that, again, was my bad on math. It really should be more of a, approaches type thing. There's a lot of different ways to get to that math, but I think it's one that it is such a core piece of the mechanic that a lot of light armor guys use, that it's one that's hard to change. I know just by me tweeting that I was going to change it, I already had a couple players basically resign and turn in saying that they would never play the game again. So, but that's frustrating, but it's something that still needs to be done. We can't have players who don't take damage and are basically invincible towards PvE or PvP. So that's one thing I'm going to be working on. But I'm trying to come up with a better solution for it than just a hard cap of 0.2. I'm trying to come up with some other balance mechanic for it. Not necessarily that would let you be invincible, but come up with some other way to balance that so it still feels like it is powerful, but not this hard cap that you hit at a certain point and there's no benefit from going further. But I will be looking at it. What I can tell you is we can't have people who can take a hit for 50,000 points of damage and smile. That should be obvious, but I've got to get that fixed, and that is one that will be fixed in the next release. I just don't know exactly the math behind it. All right, let me get to some questions here. Oh, and in terms of other things that are going to be going on, there's going to be a lot of stuff that will happen in this release for balance. I just don't know for sure all what that's going to be. I'm working on some new... I'm working on a lot of the pathing stuff that's been an issue for a while. This is stuff that happens mainly in dungeons and basements, but it also shows up in towns as well. For those who don't know, we have, they want to talk about nav mesh or pathing or anything, that type of stuff. That's how NPCs know how to get from point A to point B. It's just that simple walking thing, which is something you kind of take for granted in every game, which, yeah, every game can do it. Why would this ever be a problem? Well, the problem ends up being in our game is we have a lot of dynamic stuff. We have a lot of things you can move around. For those who don't know, like this town that I'm standing in front of here, this wall, like this is all, when you start off, this is a completely flat field. So everything in here has to have its own custom path figured for the creatures and for the AI. So there's a lot of opportunities for problems to come up. And we've got to be able to handle AIs that move about smoothly in that. Basements are the same way, that you put down decorations or you put up a wall, or in dungeons you're building out whole new sections of dungeons, and it's got to figure out how to have a creature get from point A to point B. So that's one that I'm working on that is, I'm just going to go and say it's not fun. It's not code that I have touched that often. And it is a lot of confusing code anytime you jump into AI stuff. But I've actually made some good progress on it. For those who were having problems with creatures like in their basement not moving or in dungeons not moving, those things should be fixed in the next release. I may try and sneak them out before that, but I definitely want to get it on QA. So I've got a QA build going now. So I can get that on there because it is a fairly major change in terms of how the pathing works. And I don't want to break everything in the universe while I'm fixing the bug. So I will get that on QA shortly. Hopefully I'll have it on there for you guys tomorrow morning so you guys can do some testing on that, but that should fix a lot of the pathing issues that you guys have been seeing. Also working on improving creature response time. This actually came up because one of the new creatures that Damon has finished the art on, I think he's finished the animation on, we're just working on some AI stuff and some more design stuff for it. But it's fairly large, and it kind of came up as one of those weird conversations that I should have started off by saying, why do you want to know this? As he started saying, what's the fastest player in the game? It's like, I don't know. And then started looking, and it's like, okay, it looks like probably, the guys who know what they're doing with the sprint and the gear equipped for it and the potions and all that stuff, they can get up to like maybe 22 meters per second. To which, of course, he lost his mind and explained, that's like 45 miles per hour. And it's like, yeah, that's like 45 miles per hour. They can go 40. Most people don't do that. Most people run about 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. But yeah, you can get around really fast if you really try. And you can go faster than that because you can always blink and get even faster. But yes, it is cheetah speed. But anyways, after talking to him and trying to tell us that was way too fast, that's ridiculous, we got it. And it's like, no, that's what it's been for years. Most people don't go that fast. People can go that fast. But anyways, it came up that he was trying to get the creature speed. He was trying to make the animations for the creature so it could move fast enough to be faster than the fastest player in the game. Which is when we then had to also break down that it's like, oh, it doesn't matter if he's the fastest creature in the game. If he's twice as fast as a player, he's still not going to catch up with the player just because of the lag and the movement and the imprecise nature of it and the slow up speed and slow down speed at the end and changing. But anyways, long story short, which I know too late, but I'm improving some of that stuff to try and make the movement of creatures a little more responsive. We'll see how that goes. And yes, Eric rules. They could just teleport, but that's pretty lame. Instead, we're working on things. We try to make sure that things have something they can do, at least make it somewhat challenging. Again, we're trying to do a better job these days when we make a new creature to make it so it actually has some meaningful combat, and also try to make sure the space that it's in can add something to the combat. You guys ready for the weekend? I am. Let's see. I'm going to try to tear through these questions, answer as many as I can. I usually don't skip questions. Sometimes I do when I get time crunched. I'm not there yet, so just getting started. Coswald Dirthmeyer says, when trolls get the move and attack speed in Rage, they can kill you before you see the attack animation start. That doesn't sound fun. So I kind of know what that is. I didn't think it would be a problem. That's interesting to hear that from you. I knew that, for those who don't know, there's some creatures, big creatures can enrage, or they have different ways they can, at 50% health, they can add this ability, and at 25% health, they can add this ability, that type of stuff. But yeah, that speeds up their attack. I wouldn't have thought that it would have triggered the attack before the animation started. But yeah, I can see that if they get a pretty good boost on there. Died that way yesterday. Kick slap combo. Well, I'm glad they're getting some kills in at least. But yeah, we're trying to pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, that surprises me that it's that big of a difference in speed. But anyways, let me get through some questions here. I see Pivker asks, what mobs drop the Ringmaster vest? Still only T15 liches. I honestly do not know for sure, but I believe that sounds right to me. I can Google that, but I'm sure people in chat will know. We are trying to do, one of the things I've talked about recently, and I talked about it at the last guild meeting that I attended from people, was we're trying to make sure when we're adding new loot now that it feels more meaningful. If it's a significant, unique type item, we're trying to make sure it appears only in a couple of places. And this is, again, there's a number of reasons. But if we have every loot drop everywhere, then you're just going to end up at the place that is the best experience because you're going to get the loot there. So we're trying to make sure we're scattering some of that stuff out and making people move around some. Now, the other part of that is we shouldn't make you move to areas that are not interesting, not challenging, not cool. So we're also trying to make sure, that's, as I mentioned, I'm updating the Rise, but I'm trying to make sure that it is, the areas that you go to are cool and it's not feeling like a punishment that you're there just grinding away trying to find something. Trying to make it an additional reward. Let's see. Coswald Dirthmeyer, man, you guys know the math out there. His question is, the critical hit defense stat from the evasion skill doesn't scale with the evasion power or duration masterwork. Is that intended or an oversight? That is an oversight, Coswald. I will try and get to that. Hold on, I'm starring your question here as enough for patching. Let's see. But good question. Yeah, that's some stuff that got added on. It's probably not taking all the multipliers it should into it, is kind of the gist of what he was saying. Aaron Pope, leave the Rise alone. I'm like I said, I'm probably, anytime, for those who don't know, anytime I've gone and touched one of these things, there's always a lot of screams of, "You're destroying history." That's why I am going to make my best effort to leave the stuff that's in there alone. I may change up some loot. I may change up a few creatures a little bit here or there. But going to try not to make this like a total overhaul, redo everything so it doesn't feel like what it did before. Instead, I'm going to be trying to make it where the Rise ended before is kind of the start to a new wing. So basically after the Lich Room begins a new wing of the dungeon, and adding, basically building out from there, starting, and that kind of sets the low level for here's where you're going to be starting in terms of difficulty, is the Lich Room in there. So, but I don't think I'm going to ruin it if that's what you're worried about. Let's see. How about a pass over the PvP zones? More dynamic nodes and spawns make it worthwhile. I need to go take a look at that. For those who don't know, I did increase the spawns and a few, or the nodes in a few scenes, and increase their spawn rate. That was a change I made a while back, but it slipped my mind to go back and check to see if that increased things there. But those are already some of the better spots, the ones that I changed that on, and I do need to. Yeah, that was in the Shard Falls. Yeah, absolutely. Again, for those who don't know, we do have some PvP players. My belief is the missing stuff from PvP is, or why we don't have larger PvP audiences, honestly, because of some of the balance stuff I've been talking about. I try not to spend a huge amount of time on PvP, but I think there's a lot of low-hanging fruit we can do that will get it to a point that it's meaningful. So, and anytime I can throw people a bone like that, PvP guys, we know you're at higher risk. This might, attract some, what I would call sheep for the wolves. I think that's a great win and easy stuff. And I do think, again, the best AI, the best fights you're going to have in game will be PvP. That's not everybody's cup of tea, though, so we don't try and enforce it. But I do believe we can have a lot more interesting PvP. And I think there's going to be a lot of that type of more interesting PvP stuff coming. And I'm really making that an effort to get there. That's, I think people saw I'm working on, last release I started working on some of the stealth stuff. There's still some more things to go to tune up with it, but that is for both PvE and also for PvP. Right now stealth is kind of broken in PvP. I think I actually got it a little bit better, but there's still 5 or 6 changes on that list. I think I got a whole list of things from Necronut of fix this stuff and PvP will be better. But I'm trying to make sure I'm fixing it so PvE will be better and also PvP. Let's see. Kathy888. Is it possible we can get an alliance chat channel and the option to form alliances? That is actually one of the things I've talked to at least one guild about. And I immediately said that may have been actually the first time I mentioned that. Oh, and by the way, I think we're about to have a new programmer on, because I think our guild system is barely tolerable. And that is feedback I also get from some people. I'm pretty sure when I go to see the BMC guys this weekend, they're going to let me know that our guild system is barely tolerable. But we're going to be spending some time on guild stuff, because that is not PvP, PvE. That is the thing that keeps people in the game more than anything, which is community. And I think that's an important building block that we need to have a better system for. So hopefully that's one that we can either, of course I'm going to be doing the same thing I do with Elgarion, where it's like, yeah, I can't wait to get Elgarion on that, no matter what you say, if it's something related to him. New programmer guy's going to be like that too. But really all that I'm hoping is that he can free up time, so either he can do it or I can do it. Or we can get some more Wizard Smoke time on that stuff. So Vesper, so I'm actually surprised to hear that the 0 damage thing knocks you out of stealth. The only thing, because I know I have a check in there, so I think it's less than 5 damage is not supposed to knock you out of stealth. The only thing I can think of is it's doing the calculations before it applies safe fall, so I'll go look into that. But that's one that I thought I'd fixed like 3 times now, so I'll take another look at it. I have not given up on that, and that's definitely on Necronut's list of stealthy problems. Let's see. Sean Butts, can we get a way for third-party authentication against game accounts? I'd like to know for sure that users of my tools have an active account. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, we try to make that stuff available to you guys. Of course, we've got the API stuff out there already. One of the long list of things I've got on our programmers for the upcoming, well, before the end of the year, is right now, you guys have probably noticed, we're on Steam. Something like a third or a fourth of our users come to us through Steam, but we don't actually sell anything on Steam. That's something that we would like to change. We'd like to get our Crown Bundle stuff on Steam to save you guys the hassle of having to click through and possibly attract people. I think it also looks weird to have a game that doesn't sell anything is completely free on Steam. But I mentioned that because that's one that I'm going to be having one of our engineers, go and work with Taz and Steam to try and get some more server talking back and forth between the web server and authentication server and get some of that stuff done. That has to be done for the Steam stuff for sure. But that feels like something we should have some way to do. Of course, you can always try and pull some information. Actually, no, you can't even try to pull them from the API. Because we black out, for those who don't know, in the API, we hide everybody's everything, pretty much. Yeah, and we're good with you guys' secrets. We won't reveal data that people shouldn't have just for that type of stuff. But yeah, that feels like something that someone should be able to get access to for that type of tool. And Sean Butts, that may be the type thing that we have ways we can open up stuff for specific people. If you have a third-party tool, it's definitely something we could look into. Same type of stuff for Lua. We may add some extra stuff for Lua, extra calls to Lua that talks to the API, so people can do some of that stuff in game through Lua rather than having to go out to another website. Let's see. Will we be able to create dungeons for others with co-owner rights, not deco? That's one I didn't even know we didn't have. That feels like it should not be that hard. But if it's not done, there may be a good reason for it. Anything that works in basement should work in there, but I think basements may have that same limitation, so it may be just not a copy-paste, but again, following the same model as basements. But I'll have to look into that. And yeah, I know dungeons, especially a lot of you guys, I have no idea what type dungeons you guys look. For those who don't know, we have fixed a lot of dungeon bugs lately, and we're running low on dungeon bugs once I get some of these pathing issues fixed. But we do intend to keep fixing up some of the dungeon stuff. But that is, you guys have done some crazy stuff as I've gone and looked through dungeons. So I'm testing pathing and seeing some of the dungeon you guys have made. You guys have some crazy dungeons out there. So keep up the good work. But yes, also having a crazy big dungeon and not being able to set different rights on it is kind of annoying. Let's see. Crossfire Bug's Eye, is the new dev David totally new or a prior dev returning to the project? He has not been a dev on the project before. He does have game experience in the field, though, but not on Shroud. Let's see. Adrox. I'm not even sure how to say it. How about the PvP zones, all the shard falls, loot mobs, etc.? Again, the shard falls got some level already, but that's one of those I need to go back and take a look and see if it shifted at all in terms of use for those scenes. I like to make them tempting to get people in there, but obviously can't have the best loot in the game be in a PvP zone where some PvPers don't want to go. But we do want to make sure it's at least competitive with other scenes, given the extra risk involved. Crossfire Bug's Eye, as part of the Rise update, will you make it variable level creatures? Maybe. I'm looking at, that's one of the things, I don't know that I want to make it variable level creatures, but I definitely want to get it to be in the new math for creatures. So it will literally be, when you go into that new scene, you will not see any of the same skeleton types you see in other places, because they will be guys that are on the new math. The new math being stuff for episode 2 in terms of experience and also, difficulty, challenge level, and those type things. Again, for those who don't know, that is because I'm trying to, before we really had a fragmented system for creatures and rewards, and it's really tough to maintain. The new system is all math driven, and I can basically go and change things really quickly, single formulas, one place, and adjust everything. If we decide that all the creatures are a little too tough or aren't given a little experience, we can adjust it one place, adjust them all up, in addition to then going and hand tweaking some if we feel that they need some special thing. So yes, they will. It may not be variable level creatures. It may not be a new episode 2 style variable difficulty, but it will definitely have creatures that are on that same math as those. Let's see. Will the new creature be tameable? The new creature will not be tameable. It is, at least in some form, humanoid. We usually don't have those. That is one of those things. Is Sanyo in chat? He didn't join me today, so he may not be on here. That's one of the things I mentioned to the guild, is we do expect there to be a whole new tree coming on. I'm not sure if it's going to make the talk, but there should be a whole new tree that will probably have some new pet type stuff in it. That's kind of again, I didn't give away too much in that stream, and I'm trying to remember exactly what I told you guys so I don't tell you too much more, but basically it's going to be more of a tech focused tree with a lot of story driven stuff, or a lot of storyline ties into it. Again, it's something Sanyo's passionate about, and as soon as he started talking about it, everybody else in the team was excited about. So I expect to be able to start on that hopefully by the end of this release. Let's see. Crossfire Bug's Eyes. David, full-time. Yes, David is going to be full-time. He is actually like super duper excited about things, and I've told him he's only allowed to work officially 40 hours a week, and he's asked what happens if he works more than that, because he plans on working 90 hours a week, which will be awesome. But yes, he is at least full-time. I'm paying him for at least full-time, so he says he's going to work significantly more than that, though. We will see. He, of course, is super excited. It's always fun to see people who have wanted to be a game dev or worked on games coming to work on a project that they're passionate about, and seeing how excited they are about it. And, you know, everything's roses and glorious, and I can't wait. And it's like, well, just wait until you hit one of these bugs where the bug only happens in the player client build when it's not in debug mode. And it only happens if the game, if it's running, you can't actually set breakpoints, because setting a breakpoint screws up the timing and you can't get it to happen. And then it only happens sometimes, and it only happens in this one dungeon in this one place. And the only way to debug it is to insert instrumenting code, and each build you do adds 2 hours to the loop of how long it takes to test it. But anyways, I think he'll get a little bit of a rude awakening as he sees some of the crazy bugs that come up, and how difficult they can be. But he is absolutely super excited, which makes me super excited as well. And also, I'm not sure if he's watching the stream, but he should thank Elgarion, because that, again, the Elgarion thing, I think I say good things about most people on the team every stream, most of the team members on the stream, but he's one that we'd been reluctant because we'd had a few misfires hiring community members to be on the team, and felt a little burned on that, and Elgarion totally changed our minds on it. So we'll see. I think this could be another Elgarion, though. Very excited. Let's see. Honda's asked, since we're ticking and talking, can we get a new necklace artifact clock that drops from the crocodiles, kind of like Flava Flav meets Captain Hook? I like that. Yeah, TikTok, the April Fool's thing would be kind of a fun one too. Not sure what we're going to do for crocodiles. I'd love to get some more crocodiles in there. They're one of my... I like the model. I mean, I like the idea of fighting crocodiles, just because it's something you can kind of imagine yourself doing. But I hate the crocodiles personally in terms of how they look, because it's kind of the same problem you have with snakes, and why you rarely see big snakes in game that you fight is because things that are flat, you know, long and flat and close to the ground and long, they just look wrong in how they turn, because you can't really put a turn animation. You think about, like, imagine watching a video of how a crocodile would turn, you know, his little squatty legs trying to turn. Now imagine like one of you guys out there moving at 40 miles an hour, circle strafing the thing, and the poor little crocodile trying to move his little tiny stumpy legs around to keep up with you. That obviously doesn't work. Crocodiles would die instantly if that were the case. But the alternative is they turn fast, and which looks unnatural. Is basically you got like a crocodile. It's got a pivot point in the middle, and you just spin him like he's on a lazy Susan or something like that. Is what it ends up being. So, anyways, I love fighting crocodiles. I love crocodiles. I hate how they look. Again, same problem that snakes and some other things have. And I know a lot of people like the crocodiles because they're great for tame pets. I think the person we rated last stream was had a crocodile, like their whole stream was themed around the crocodile pet that they had. So I know you guys like them. They actually look pretty good with that because the creatures don't do the crazy movement. It's really more of a player fighting a crocodile, and the crocodile both being competitive and dangerous and also looking not stupid. We went with the make them look stupid. We talked about a lot of other things like big tail swipes or stuff like that, but it's just too hard to pull off. If you guys know of a game that did crocodiles well, let me know, because I still haven't seen it. Pot terrain forming. Yes, that is still going to be a thing. This is from Alphane, our Chaos medal winner, from awarded 2 streams ago from Darkstar. But terrain forming is still going to be a thing, and this feels like a good... I'm not sure if I want to put it in a tick, but I'll definitely get it in for the talk. I do have most of the bugs out of that. Again, that's something that I've shown on streams, just really bug-prone. And as Alphane asking about it worries me. I took your deco system and broke it a million different ways, doing cool stuff. It worries me that he's very interested in the terrain terraforming. If you've seen what he's done before, then you know why. And that's actually why I've delayed it a few times, is trying to make sure it's not too broken feeling. You guys can't do too many weird things. Again, even with my quick trying to break stuff, I was able to break stuff pretty bad and get platforms in the sky type stuff. So, but yes, that is still a thing. I do still hope to have that in. Again, this release or next release. Next release is supposed to be the talk, so this is supposed to be the release when we fix bugs and we fix things that are wrong. Wilfredkin. Have you had a chance to review the forum discussion about vendor search options such as town-based, regional, global, and with or without prices? What are your preferences for implementing vendor search in Soda? So vendor search is one that I do like. Again, it's a one-stop shop where you just go in there and you can find, get everything from the scene. You never have to move around the scene. Is something we don't necessarily like the idea of. But having the town-based or regional-based, having the town-based specifically is one that I do feel works. But still making people move around the town. We do like having we're trying not to dumb it down too much in terms of you walk into a town, you really don't go into the town. Again, a lot of the towns are super well thought out and beautiful decorations. And, I think it's valuable to the game to have you guys walking around the town, because sometimes you see something you didn't even know you wanted. But wider regional, I'm not sure. Global, I'm not sure. But it is one of those things, too, that I do want to open it up to many things up to Lua. Pretty much all of that stuff up to Lua. And I'm pretty sure the new person, David, is going to also be of that mindset. So we may open things up. So if players want to, have some way to extract data and make their own search wider than town, that might end up happening. I'm personally in favor of having a town-based search, but not a global-based search. Aaron Pope, can we get a sort bag contents by time added to inventory? Yes! Again, this is the Wizard Smoke, is, for those who don't know, has just due to some personal life stuff, has been taking a... he's still on the team. He still works. He's just taking some time off, a sabbatical. And it's also one of those things, he's been with the team for 7 years, which is usually when you get a sabbatical, and we talked about it. And so he's taking a sabbatical. He is, I think I jokingly told David today when I introduced him, because he jumped on and talked to David, that he's currently working as the lifeguard at Barton Springs Pool, because that is what he's doing a lot. That is something he was supposed to get to, but that is something now that hopefully David can get to. I think we have everything we need, and we just need some UI work. But UI stuff is going to be the number one new task thing that he works on. He's going to do some bugs to learn the systems, but UI is by far, my belief, our worst thing in the game. No offense to the people who did UI, because they really did what they were told to do. And actually, a lot of that was Wizard Smoke, and it's really some of that was his first systems that he did. But that was kind of the design for him. Is he implemented what he was asked to do. It just should be better. And that's so he's going to be working on that stuff, improving the UI. But our first discussion has to be what we do with the UI. Do we take the existing UI and build off of it, or do we start building, rather than what I would call fossilizing the systems, taking the systems that are there and slowly replacing them over time? Or do we say, here's a great example of how we do our inventory window. Now let's do it completely from scratch using the newer system, and then make the swap between the two at some point. So are we going to replace the whole thing, or are we going to slowly try to improve the old one? And that's one that I don't know the answer to. I know we need to have the sort by time, how long you've had it. I've actually talked about that on 2 or 3 streams before, and it is something that I think is extremely valuable to players. When might we see the circling dragon for pots? You guys don't have circling dragons for pots? I wonder if Elgarion's watching. They're done. I have them on my pot in the dev area. And the thing that I think is cool about them, when I go into the dev area, sometimes I'll be walking and all of a sudden I'll just see this shadow like shoot over me. And it's because I have all the dragons there that I set down to test. And I just left them because they're cool. But yeah, I'm surprised you guys don't have circling dragon for pots. We should get that done. For DDRX or OX, 0X, does the new programmer play Soda? So I'm trying to figure out what the line is for when you guys are trying to be sneaky and get me to reveal who it is. Get them to reveal their secret identity, and whether or not they... or if you guys are just curious, because I know you guys want dev team members play. This is someone who has put a lot of time in on Soda, and part of the reason he's so passionate about joining the team. And we're not talking about a little time, we're talking thousands of hours type playtime. So yes, he is someone who is passionate about Soda and also understands a lot of the problems and things that need to be solved, and has suffered through a lot of the stuff that you guys have pretty much called out right in this chat. So, the dog is going to be grumpy with me here. And it's actually 5 o'clock and I haven't done a single drawing. This is why I need a co-host. Co-host, that's a better term than sidekick. All right, let me do some prizes. Surprising, I think I owe you guys 4. Hold on, dog. Let me make sure. I might have to jump some stuff to the top of the queue. That's there. All right, let me cover up my dog. Go ahead, dog. Quality stream content right here. There you go, dog. You're covered up. All right. Oh, man, I'm going to have to do 5 prizes, and there's a lot of stuff in the queue right now. I may have to keep talking longer. All right, I'm keeping an eye on that one. Go to the top. Hold on, I'm trying to get it to... trying to knock everybody else out of line. Got to show the new person build stuff today. I didn't get to go over this stuff with them. I guess I need to do that soon. Traditionally, programmers on the team have not been very social, stream-wise. Don't think that'll be any different with a new person. But we will see. There's a chance. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta do 4 of these things, so give me a minute. Try and get them set up. Okay, that's got 3 of them going now. Let me jump back in and do some questions here. I'm getting towards the end here, so I'm going to skip a few and try to get there. Loving the new food rework and incoming recipes. Do you think we might see new cooking skills this year? I would love to have some new cooking skills. I don't think our crafting trees fully got filled out in a way that they probably should have. I would love to get some more stuff in there. That's one that, especially now that Elgarion is cooking master man and taking over all that stuff, I would love to get some of his feedback. Because he is constantly throwing me ideas at me. And he may have an idea of what would work in there. How possible would it be to craft or buy enchanted bags that you can set some basic categories that would auto-deposit into as your loot? Or gems, equipment, etc. That's one that we actually talked about that came up recently as well, because we had an item that was not showing up that was obviously a crafting item, but it wasn't showing up in the crafting. And that, digging into how that things got flagged as crafting or, housing, brought up that, that's a system we could probably flush out some more for you guys. And just trying to think on ways we can make the looting. I know you guys get a lot of junk loot. Yeah, it'd be great if you had a way you could, anytime you get an item, you could, mark this item as, junk, or, 2 bags, so that anytime you pick up a rusty spoon, I always use that as an example, but anytime you get a rusty spoon, it always knows to go to a certain bag or destroy itself automatically. It'd be great if we had some way we could flag for that type of stuff. We don't right now, though, but that is something that we're looking at expanding, is the category stuff, the category items, and that's one that can be talked about again, as we may be completely redoing that inventory as one of the earlier things. I think there's some other interfaces that need more love, the recipe book and quest window stuff, but that's up there, not because it is as broken functionally as the others, but because the inventory thing is something you look at 97 times a play session. So it'd be great if we had that and could improve the functionality of that to make some more stuff convenient like that. And that also feels like something we could, I try not to talk about monetizing on the stream, but that's something that feels like is a convenience item that we could monetize on, having bags that suck the loot to them or whatever. Needs more thought. Let's see. Will we ever get the ability to decorate the small temple, the fall dungeon recipe? Uh-oh, there's an intruder. Yes, dear?
Dad, when will you be done with your streams so I can watch Wolfwalkers?
Oh, you want to watch Wolfwalkers? Someone is reading books. How many books do you think you read this week?
Maybe about 10, maybe 11, maybe. Okay, well,
Several
I did
books
read
a night.
10, at least 10. I finished all the Kingdom of Rinleaf.
Oh, that's right, the whole
Okay,
ring.
actually at least 12, because I finished the Beetle and the Hollowbones. And
Oh yeah, Hollowbones, yeah.
What was it?
Okay, well let me finish up this stream stuff here. I got one more prize round to do, and then I will be able to come help you. But first, I got to come over here and do some.
I don't help Dad. Actually, Dad, I finished all my work.
Oh, it's because you're not allowed to make noise during my stream, like you're doing now.
I really want to watch Wolfwalkers. What? It's a really
I understand,
good show.
but you know why you're not allowed to watch this? Because it makes noise during my stream, and you're kind of making noise during my stream. Someone's ready for the weekend besides me. Okay, the last prizing is coming up now. Hold on one second here, and then I will be reading off. Okay, got it. Let me go look through and see if there's any super duper crazy relevant must answer things in here. Let's see. Match F Xenos, are there any plans to add summon to the life tree? That's one of the ones we've talked about adding a summon to, just because it feels weird that most of the others have a summon. I'm trying to think, do all the others have a summon? All the others have a summon. But adding one to the life tree, adding a summoned creature that is, something like a will-o-wisp or something. The other option that I threw down was, speaking of throwing down, was having a totem type thing that you can throw down. If you think about, I'm trying to think of what other games have had that type of stuff. There's been a few games that have. I know World of Warcraft had it, where like the shamans, I think, were the ones that used the totems. But having the healer be able to throw down, summon a healing, obelisk type thing that served some purpose, and making that their summon so that they weren't left out. It is weird that every tree has summons except for healing. It's just because it's such a unique tree. I think we didn't feel the need for it. But that is kind of one of those things we probably should look at, because I do still plan on adding a couple more skills per tree. Let's see. Epic Plate Gauntlet Base Resist Fix. This is from J Dread. Good game. It was missed during the base resist. Yes, I will mark that one for bug. That one is should be an easy one. Let's see. I'll do one more question, then I'm going to read off the prizes and go find somebody to raid here. You will not be tortured by my singing. I do need to thank Yoshimba, Pedalfoot Gravity again. Guys, thank you so much. But let's see. Can we add the ability to call out to www from Lua? That is one of the ones that's on the short list. This is, I tried not to rush the Lua stuff, but it's been a little bit stagnant longer than I had intended it to, just because life is crazy. As I mentioned, the new programmer is also very passionate about Lua stuff, and that is something we're going to try to get in there, is expose a ton more stuff to Lua and clean up some of the interfaces that are in there to make them more uniform. That is something that I've been the only guy with my eyes on it or ever to touch anything on it, and it is probably could use some feedback from another source. But having more stuff in there that you can call out to do things absolutely is something I want to do. And we will try to expose some of those things. That part is actually pretty easy. The part where we start getting risky on Lua and scary to me is when we start letting you execute stuff. Having a Lua function that can call and do a loot function, loot creature stuff, or press a key for you type thing. That's where we start getting into we really got to be careful about it for obvious reasons. But calling out to www is not something that should be a big risk. The only time we get into risk with that is the other thing that concerns people with the Lua stuff is people not knowing which Lua plugins are safe. They're worried that somebody's going to be running some extra junk on their computer. But yes, absolutely. Let me see. I'm going to read off a prize name. I'm going to read 4 names to you guys. And again, thank you so much for support. Also, go and check out in the forums the auction for the Lord of the Isle. Again, this is something for those who don't know what it is. This is a longtime community member, which I know one longtime community member is out there right now involved, but is dealing with some serious health problems, some cancer, and we're trying to help them out. This is not something we would do, and this is a big discussion we had on the team, just to quickly go over that. Do we help people? Because as soon as we help one person, everybody's going to be like, well, help me, help me, help me. This was one that we felt we needed to make an exception to, because this is someone who themselves has helped out other communities in huge ways financially, just for the sake of being a good person. It's not something we plan on doing for everybody, but in this case, it was someone that we felt was exceptional and special and generous beyond measure, including helping some people in the past who were in a similar health situation. We just there's no way we could not feel we had to pay it back. So this is us paying it back because they paid it forward. So not something we will do for everybody, but absolutely someone deserving. But there's Lord of the Isle over there. There are only a handful of those out there. There's some unique stuff in there that you will not get anywhere else. And I think also a ton of crowns, like 140,000 crowns or something insane like that in there. But anyways, go check it out. Go bid. It's for a good cause. Shroud Catnip Games is taking exactly 0 cents out of it. We put it up there. Again, we print digital stuff, so it is free, but it's not really free, because if we give you guys stuff that you can spend money on, you're spending money on that instead of spending money on the game. But it felt like something that we needed to do. Was a super worthy cause. And I've talked too much, so I'm going to shut up, read some names, then we'll go raid somebody. But again, thank you all to our community. You guys are amazing. And I hardly even need to tell you guys that, because you know it. Ornate Bagpipes. Go to Amanita Phalloidis, Sean Silverfoot, Arista Damus, and Lord Doomstrike. Congratulations. That is the Ornate Bagpipes. This is a totally new set of prizes, by the way. You guys haven't seen these before. I think Laney came up with these. And the phrase. Brown Plague Doctor Mask, Gaylorn Hammerthrow, Throws, Asmodee Muhul, and Denny Crane. Thank you, guys. We have a Gothic Large Candelabra, 3-pack, goes to Eileen Dragonfire, will be great at the dance parties. Dido, great singer. Archon Shieldbreaker, and Bane Rampage. The 4th set of prizes, the Ornate Moondial, goes to Scarface. Also, thank you for the raid, Scarface. Lathander O, Fetid Sir Diddy, and Blaze Garsink. It seems like I say his name a lot. I think he wins prizes like every stream, right? And last but not least, the Green Marble Room, Koi Pond Dungeon Room, definitely a mouthful, goes to Goriaculis, Sausage Swiper. Not sure if that's an innuendo thing or not, but Thoric O'Mara. Oh wait, was that the guy that was out here? That is Thoric O'Mara. You have a new koi room here. I'm in your town right now, of course. And last but not least, Badfast. So congratulations, guys. And also, I know that there's at least a few open spots in this town. Looks like there's some open row lots here, and there's stuff, there's houses scattered out. Again, I just as the guy who has to occasionally fight with performance, not occasionally, constantly fight with performance and try to figure out how to squeeze a little bit more out of our engine. I love the layout of this town, and that it's got this downtown dense shopping area that runs silky smooth, and then there's lots of other houses, but they're spread out around the zone. That is what I love seeing. So, Thoric, I love your town. It makes me very happy. And running at silky smooth frame rates, even in a pot with a lot of stuff in it, makes me happy too. So, anyways, come check out Iron Hall. Very cool town, and looks like there's some spots open here and probably around the town as well. So, let's see, guys. I think that's it for today's stream. I will work on getting some other people on the stream next time. I know you guys really liked having Elgarion on the stream when he did his solo stream. I'm going to say that was not because Elgarion is way more awesome than me, even though he is, and say that is actually because he came prepared with a lot of content to talk to you guys about. So we're going to try to do some of that stuff too. So, let's see. Have I got anything else I need to mention to people? I have information. Elgarion is watching the stream. He says the dragons do not show up until the 12th. So next Friday, there will be dragons. There be dragons. So you guys can get ready for that. That'll be on the 12th. Let's see, and I've just been informed by Lainey that normally she's been doing priding herself on having the prizes delivered by the time I say the last name, but she actually has plans for the evening, so it will be probably tomorrow morning, definitely this weekend by the time you get your prizes. So don't sit around and hit refresh on your mailbox or anything. But guys, again, super, super huge thank you to all you guys, especially the people who are joining with us to help with the charity stuff, and the Airy Fund guys for keeping that around a little bit longer to help put out some, to help share the love on that. They're going to be matching whatever the Lord of the Isle donated Lord of the Isle thing goes for. But guys, again, super good cause for a super deserving person and family. And I think that's probably it. I guess let me go find someone to raid here. If I can actually spell Twitch, I did. 1 second, I'm getting there. Oh, we got the Graceful Bard on. It's been a while since I graced the Graceful Bard. But I see Save the Grill is on here as well. Revenant 84, Silvertree, and Alphane. These are all super deserving type people. And I cannot pick. I love all those guys. I need to get back on Silvertree's stream sometime soon. Maybe for next release I can get on the stream. And I'm trying to see if he's moved and has his fish in the background. But anyways, I'm just going to do a roll here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did the thing again. Hold on. Okay, a 1. Yes. Oh. In case anyone wants to see, I'm trying to see if I have any private tells I can't share. No, I can't. But anyways, there's my D5, a roll of a 1. Number 1 on my screen is Graceful Bard. All those other people are super deserving. Love seeing Save to Grill on there. That's a new person I haven't seen streaming before. But they just joined started following us, so they may be a new player. So maybe go watch them. Looks like they're trying to fight Torkdoll. Kind of a test of moving from normal player into I'm a cool player is killing Torkdoll. But we will be going to the Graceful Bard. You can't go wrong with any of those guys out there, though. I think we've rated them all except Save to Grill at least once. But guys, thank you so much. Stay safe. Stay home if you can. Things are improving. Super excited that vaccines are out there now. We've been living through this pandemic ourselves. I will also warn you that Elgarion has pointed out that I put actual houses on sale 2 releases ago with the plan of them staying on until Christmas or maybe the end of January. But anyways, and I did not get them turned off. I can't turn them off very easily until next release, but I will tell you they will be going off sale next release. This is not deeds, but houses. So if you're in the market for a house, they're on sale and they're going to be going up 20% in price. So now's a good time to go get them because I will finally fix that. And I will not make Elgarion punch me one more time. But guys, again, thank you so much. Let me get the raid going there. Not sure if we're going to have a patch. There's a few small things I want to get out there, but we're kind of getting to the point of me really wanting to get stuff on QA instead. So I will get a QA build out to you guys tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much. But I think that's probably it. Let's go raid the Graceful Bard. Again, Save to Grill is a new streamer out there, so you may want to hit him up too and just give him a follow. Make his day. But we are going to the Graceful Bard because that is what the random number god said. Guys, thanks so much. Stay safe.